Hey guys, before we start, I hope the audio is fine. I'm using like a headset set off my microphone at the apartment, but let's just get on with the video. So I've been toying with this idea for a while now, but the Catacombs drop system is just not fun for me. I get that it's guaranteed gear after farming reagents is something to work towards, but it feels more like a job. Like I show up to work, do boring tasks, and get a small salary that is way too low. On the other hand, Darkmoor was unforgiving at times. You could farm 3 bosses in and not get any gear by the end. As the game stands, I think Paradox's system is the best of what we've had so far. But what if I told you that there was an even better way? What if I told you that there was a system that could reward good players and teams, but also still give gear to those that are kinda scrubs? What if I told you that we could do the jackpot drop rate system and the slow drip reagent system even better? Let's get into it. So here I have my trusty visuals. So this is like the final area or dungeon or whatever, and this is where you get your loot. To recap, Darkmoor's system has the first 2 fights drop absolutely nothing, and the last fight drops like the god tier 1 armor. Then there are the Catacombs. This dungeon has no boss drop the tier 1 armor, and instead you farm for the tier 2 armor and reagents. You can upgrade the tier 2 armor with the reagents, but if you don't even get that armor, then it'll cost you extra reagents. In Paradox, every boss drops the stuff for the most part. The easier bosses before and the final harder bosses both drop the tier 1 loot. However, if you have bad luck, you can always use the other tier 2 loot along with some reagents from these boss fights to craft the tier 1 gear. This system is good because it allows for gear to be dropped right away if you're lucky, but it also makes it so if your luck is real bad, you can always craft the gear regardless. Now how can this be improved? Let's take the same visual setup and generalize it. The first fight are minions, the second fight is an easier boss, and the last fight is like a really tough boss. So these could all be one dungeon, or each have their own sigil, it doesn't really matter. Here is the best way to do this drop system. We give reagents to the minions. Maybe each fight with the minions drops like 2 reagents. It's an easy fight and the rewards reflect that. The next fight is this easy regular boss. This fight drops like 5 reagents and could also drop the tier 2 gear. Theoretically, you can fight this boss fairly easily and get the gear and some reagents to then upgrade it. The last fight is the hard end of the area boss. Think like how hard Trident was compared to the Rat and Scorpion or that like Shadow Spider thing. This boss is difficult and will take a good team, but will be rewarded for being able to farm it. This boss will drop the tier 1 gear and also like 10 or 15 reagents at a time. Basically, if you have a good team and are dedicated to the game, this boss will reward that skill in preparation. If not, however, if you play casually, you can still easily do the minions and the other boss and get the gear eventually. This is the best system, and I mean, feel free to prove me wrong, but I don't think it's even disputable. Good players who fight the hard boss get their reward in a bounty of reagents and tier 1 drops. Players that aren't as good, or maybe just don't have great luck, can still farm, but it just won't be nearly as efficient. Anyway, if you look at this system, it works. It's fair, but still rewards getting better in coordinated teams. Let me know what you guys think of this system. I really disliked farming the Catacombs, and hopefully we get this system back on track like Paradox was. However, Paradox didn't have any incentive for good players to fight the Trident after beating the quest, which is why I think that the best gear should only be dropped by the hardest boss. I want to thank Matt and Ratbeard for listening to us complain on Twitter. As whiny as we may sound, we really just want to improve the game and keep it fun. Obviously, we care about this game, honestly, too much. Keep up the good work and keep listening to the community no matter how toxic it may sound sometimes. It really is just misplaced passion. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Sorry I've been taking a bit of a break from YouTube and Twitch, but I need it, and I'll pick up again more often in the summer when I'm like less stressed and busy. Have a great day, guys, and everybody wash your hands.